Hey guys. Wow, did you hear that bird? Right when I said hey guys, that bird sort of making some kind of noise. So I am at El Garces Park in Needles, California. And yeah, just making another video. It's about noontime, so there's a little more traffic out because people are going out to lunch. Noontime lunch, I guess. Hello. So anyhow, yeah, nice day. A little warm, kind of a little hot actually. You know what I mean? I'm kind of used to it, so I call it warm. Anyhow, so there's not a whole lot going on. I don't really have a lot to make videos about here. It's a nice little town though. It's cool. I like the slow pace of it. You know, I like that. It is really nice. Or it's nice as far as that. But there's just not a whole lot to do. You know, I don't need a whole lot to do, but still, there could be a little bit more to do. And, but there's things nearby. I guess the best thing is the river. Going to the river, swimming there, hanging out there, doing things there. And then there's not a whole lot nearby, so you kind of got to go a little ways to do anything really. Like there's not just not much close by. If you go across the river in Arizona, there's a few small towns. There's what's it called? Mojave Valley. Nice, you know, place to live. There's not a lot to do there, but they have some nice properties there. And then kind of a rural feel there. And then there's Fort Mojave, and then there's Bullhead City. And then so that's on the Arizona side. Excuse me. If you go in a slightly different direction, get on the Needles Highway, there's Laughlin nearby. What I found for me, there's just not much to do there either, because I don't know, I'm not really a person that hangs out in casinos, and that's all that's there. Laughlin is casinos. So you go in there, and I don't know, I mean, what is there to do? I've gone in there and it's just like, they always smell like cigarettes, like just smoke. It's just in the carpets or something. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, I can't see you sitting down and gambling or playing the slots or whatever. It's just not for me. They have some okay food there, but it's pretty pricey. And there's another place nearby, kind of between here and Laughlin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because I've heard it's pronounced different, but I call it the Avi. I thought that's what it was called, A-V-I. Someone said it's pronounced differently and they said it, but I forgot how they said it. Anyway, the Avi. There, it's the same thing. It's a casino. And a casino and a hotel. But there's a little beach area there along the river, the same river that's here and all the way up through Bullhead, Colorado River. And that's nice, the beach area. That's cool. That's a fun thing to do. But other than that, I mean, I'm not into gambling, so there's really nothing to do in that area, in Laughlin. And in Bullhead City, not much going on there. It's cool that they put in some parks, like water parks for kids. Whoa, that train horn was kind of loud. I don't know if the camera picked that up. They recently put in some new parks and water parks for kids, and that's really great. Like for kids, you know, take your kids there, and that's great fun for them, and gonna build great memories for them, and that's really good. But for adults, I mean, we don't want to go to a water park. And the same thing, there's a river there and a lake, and I do love the river, and I love that lake. I think it's Lake Mojave Lake, I think, by the Davis Dam. So I really love that. It's very tranquil there, very peaceful, and I like that lake a lot. And the river. But other than that, there's just really nothing to do there. There's no movie theater, which I think they should put a movie theater in. So I get a little bored because there's just nothing to do. But, you know, I try to keep myself occupied. But that, okay, so what I was getting at, that's the nearest stuff. Okay, that's the nearest stuff. And the gambling, the casino scene, that doesn't interest me. The river, it is great. I love that. But as far as anything else, you got to go a ways. It's not like there's things right around here. Laughlin does have I know they have one movie theater. And maybe two. So, and Avi has one. So I've been to the one in Laughlin, one of the ones in Laughlin. They might have two. And, you know, it was okay. And then they have bowling in Laughlin. I've gone bowling there. And that was fun. I did like that. But, you know, for other things, you got to go a ways. Like, you either have to go further into California, like what they call down the hill. When people were referring to it, oh yeah, you go down the hill. I don't know what they meant. And what they mean is you go from here, you take I-40 to Barstow, and you start heading south on, I believe it's 215 or the 15, I don't remember. And you go south down into like the San Bernardino area. And then from there, you know, you go west on 10 over to the LA area and all that. Of course, there's a lot of stuff to do there. I'm like, man, that's a drive. And I've done it. I've gone that route. I went to San Diego from there and went to the Chino Valley area and went to Knott's Berry Farm. Went that route. And those are cool things. But I mean, we're talking about, like, that's not local or anything. That's a drive, man. That's hours of driving. That's like you're spending a couple days there. So that's if you go further into California. That's literally the nearest place where there's, you know, kind of a lot to do from here. That's the nearest place in California. So that's if you go that way. If you go, what would it be, north of here? It's probably about an hour to be in Las Vegas. Now, I haven't been to Vegas many times, been there a couple times. Did you guys see me jump? That dog. Shh. That dog startled the heck out of me. So I've been there a couple times, but like I said, the casino scene and the gambling and all that, it's just not for me. It's not, I don't know, it's not my interest. Now I'm sure Las Vegas has much more than that. I'm sure it does. Being a city like that, I'm sure there's all kind of, you know, fun, like family fun things. That's more of the stuff I like. Okay, I didn't see it. You know, I didn't seek it out. I went there once, and I think we stayed at I think it's called the Bellagio. Nice place, nice hotel, good restaurants. Had a good time. But it's not really my scene. And then, so that's the first one I mentioned was hours from here. That's going into California, San Bernardino, LA, San Diego. And then going north of here, an hour or so away is Las Vegas. And then if you go south of here, kind of southeast of here, there's the Phoenix Valley area. And there's a lot to do there. But that's about 4 hours away. So, and in between here and there, there's nothing. Just desert highways and, you know, small little towns that are kind of cool to, like, if you like, you know, some kind of history thing or something like that, you're like, oh, it's a cool little town. And, you know, I think there's this one place, I think it's called Wickiup. Yeah, and they have the annual rattlesnake roundup. And it's kind of neat, you know, to talk about it, but... Hello, guy. Hey, buddy. Okay. Little Chihuahua barking at me. Chihuahuas are awesome dogs. So then, but there's no way I'm going to be rounding up rattlesnakes, man. So once a year, this town like goes and catch as much rattlesnakes and to make an event of it. And I don't know what they do with them. Hey, buddy. Okay. Whoa, that's a, okay, all right, I see you guys. That's a Mastiff and an albino, not pit bull, albino Doberman. He's white. And then a gray Mastiff. Wow. And they both came running out and jumped at the gate, like jumped at the fence. I mean, not the gate, the fence, like to show that they could easily get over that. Like their hind legs and everything were off the ground. And I'm like, yeah, I know you guys can get over. You let me know. I get it. Okay. Settle down, guys. Wow, that made me pay attention. That Dobie, though, that was an interesting dog. It was white. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah, they got the rattlesnake roundup in Wikia, but that's like this little teeny town, and I'm not gonna be rounding up any kind of rattlesnakes. No, I cannot see any circumstance in which I do that. Like intentionally go out to find rattlesnakes and catch them. Nah, I would avoid rattlesnakes. So anyway, that's their thing. And other than that, I've probably stopped there, I don't know, a few times to get gas, at a gas station while I'm on the road. And then you got Wickenburg further down, nice little town. And then you go from there, you go into the Phoenix area. But that's hours away. It's about 4 hours from here, if I remember correctly. So, man, now you get down there, sure, there's a lot to do in the Phoenix area. In the Phoenix Valley, it's called the Phoenix Metro area. It's got, these names. There's a lot to do there. There's also a lot of traffic. But there's a lot to do there, but it's a ways. So here, there's just really nothing much to do. Which can be good in a way, like it can be. I'm just trying to think of a way that it can be good. There's way less traffic. It's pretty chill here, I would say. So I'm not complaining about it. This whole thing sounds like I've been complaining, huh? But I'm not. I actually kind of like it. Certain aspects of it. I like waking up in the morning. And go ahead, letting these cars go. Go ahead, buddy. I do like when I wake up in the morning and I'll go for a walk or a little drive. It is kind of nice. The solitude of it, the quietness, the peacefulness. There's like no cars here in the morning. So that's kind of nice. Let me get in the shadow. That's shade. So that's all kind of nice. I do like that. And the same thing in the evening. Just quiet, peaceful. If I go for a walk at night, there's nobody out. Like there's no cars out. Nobody's driving. I'm walking down the main street of the town right now. And at night, if I'm out for a walk at night, I can look from this right here where I'm at all down to this end of the town. This is the town right here. This is the main street of town. I can look to that end of the street, and then behind me all the way to the other end, and there's not a single car out. Now that's kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, I would like more to do. I'm getting a little like, I want to do more. I don't want to just sit here anymore. But maybe that's what I need. Go on some trips and do more. Get out of town every couple months maybe. Go over to San Diego. Go to Phoenix. Go to Vegas. I don't know. But I'd like to go to Vegas and make a few videos. That'd be fun. So, and I found it's really easy to get to know people here and make friends. I know like a lot of people I know already. The short time that I've been here, people waving to me, I'm waving to them, and I know them and they know me, and it's like, this is cool. Like I know a lot of people. I think that is the small townness of it, the uniqueness a small town, and the people are friendly overall. I mean, everybody I've met here has been friendly and very cool. So I've made friends very easily. It's really that is really nice. In cities, sometimes people, just because of the environment, they're a little bit maybe not as easy to make friends with because there's so many things going on. People, who knows the psychology behind it, but I have noticed that difference. So I do like that. Very easy to connect with people here. So yeah, I want to make a video of something here. I'm trying to think of what there is. There's the river. I've made a few videos of that. There's a park up here that has a dog park, a skate park, and I think like a BMX bike type park with a lot of hills and maybe some berms and stuff like that. It's all cement or concrete. So that part of it, not the whole park. And I think, oh, and there's a swimming pool up there, like a public pool. Stuff like that, a few youth things. So that stuff is neat. It's all pretty much geared toward the youth for the most part. The dog park's not. The dog park is not. So that's neat. I like that. And then other than that, I'm trying to think what else is around here. If you go further out that way, there's a couple restaurants. There's a Chinese restaurant and a place called, I think it's called the Wagon Cafe or the Wagon Wheel Restaurant, something like that. It's all right. There's really nothing else out there. Some gas stations, you know. If you go over the overpass, you get on the Needles Highway, heading toward Laughlin. That's a nice drive. If you're a driver and you like driving, which I am, that's actually a nice drive. It's pretty solitude though. There's not much around there. It's just an open highway that goes for several miles until you get to Laughlin. Kind of windy and hilly, not too extreme, but definitely want to be careful on some of the curves. Some of them are pretty sharp, but that's a nice drive. If, like I said, if you're like me and you like to drive and just go on a drive, I do like that. And then if you go toward the other end of town, I don't know, there's an AutoZone. Some gas stations over on that end of town, and then you can get on the I-40 there. You can get on the I-40 right here too. So you can get on the I-40 there, or you can continue going straight and you just be out in the desert again. And I haven't gone very far that way, but that apparently goes to you can go to Blythe and down to get on I-10, all of that. I haven't gone that far though. I've gone out there a little ways, but not very far. Something's going on over there. People, it sounded like they were kind of arguing or something. I don't know. Anyway, and let's see. If you go that way on the street that I was just near, well, there's a Jack in the Box and McDonald's. A lot of the kids, the teenagers, seem to hang out at the Jack in the Box or the McDonald's. McDonald's more so, it seems like. And if you go further up that road, there's a little store. There's a library. It's a nice library. There's a courthouse. There's a sheriff's department, San Bernardino Sheriff's Department there. And then there's a hospital up there. And just neighborhoods, you know, a couple little neighborhoods. And that's about it up there. And then just this area here that I've been walking around in, that's about it. Tire shop right here. Some abandoned houses. That's really it. So you can imagine it's pretty peaceful at night. It's quiet. The mornings are quiet. It's hot here, so when it's cooler, those nice cool mornings, going for walks and going to the river, I really love that. I've been out there to the river when it's cooler, like, you know, around 5 a.m. Man, it's so nice and so peaceful. You might see like I've been out there and seen like one duck on the water, or a couple ducks. And that's just very nice. But you know what? I like it. I don't think I'll be here long term. It's temporary, but you know, I have things that I enjoy. I find things to enjoy, and yeah. So there's not a lot to do, but I enjoy. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just my nature. I find ways to enjoy things where I'm at. So that's what I do here, you know, and it's good. Like I said, it's not a long term. I don't think I'll be here forever. I know I won't. See, I don't think I will. I know I won't. But yeah, I'm not sure what else there could be here. Like I said, they have the public pool, and there's a water slide there at the public pool. Just, you know, not like a water slide park, but there's a water slide that goes into the pool. Obviously, where else would it go, right? It goes into the parking lot. Now, there's this, get out. There's a water slide, and I think it twirls, you know, kind of like a corkscrew, like twirls a couple times, and then shoots you into the pool, I guess. I don't remember. I've driven by it several times, but haven't really paid much attention to it. I went there once with a group. People took their kids there and everything. I went there kind of just for a while. I didn't really stay. I just hung out for a little bit. I had other things to do, so I left. I don't know. Like, I'd like to go there and go swimming. They have, like, it's open to adults, I think. I don't know. Well, it's probably open to everybody. There's a kid pool, and then, like it's a smaller pool for little kids. And then there's a regular pool. I guess that's open to everybody. So, yeah, that'd be cool. I just haven't done it. And, yeah, so, you know, I go for walks and enjoy myself the best I can. Admit, like I said, a lot of people here in town, and it's so easy to make friends here. I've talked with, like, people who work for the city and for the county, and just, you know, almost said regular people, like those aren't regular people, but, and then just other people, you know, just neighbors and just people around, people at the store. It's so easy to meet people here, and people are really friendly and engaging, so that is really nice. And then I don't know who that is. And then there's a they beeped at me and waved. I don't know who that is. That's cool. See what I mean? Friendly. Then there's and then I've met people who work for the city, work for the county. I've met some of the law enforcement here, the sheriff's department, and man, they're just cool. They're friendly, easy to talk with. I don't see any rudeness. You know, you go to some cities, man, and people are just like really rude, like the workers. You know, you go, it's like, geez. You know? But I haven't seen that at all with anybody that I've been in contact with here or talked with. But you know, if they work for the city or the county, or just around town, or they work in the store, I haven't seen any of that. So it's been, you know, really pleasant, friendly people. So that's cool. I really do like that. Now, what could we do to have more things to do? These all take money, of course. Now, one thing that's, I would say, concerning is apparently there used to be a movie theater here and a bowling alley and a few other things, but those things closed up. They closed. So that shows that there's like an economic problem here. Like, there's not enough people here to sustain a bowling alley or a movie theater. Because I was thinking, man, this place needs a movie theater. But there's about 5,000 people here, and there's not enough money going around. Like, there's not enough here to sustain a movie theater or a bowling alley or other things. So that's, you know, that's a problem. I looked at this place as a possible restaurant that I might open. Hello, how you doing? She had her earbuds in, probably couldn't hear me. She's just smiling. But that place back there was a restaurant that closed down. I don't know when. years ago. So driving by, you know, I glanced at it a few times and thought, man, maybe I could revitalize this restaurant. That'd be cool. And then I stopped, went in, looked at it through the window. I didn't go in case the owners are out there watching. I did not go in. But I was looking through the window, but man, that place is not in good shape. I'm like, oh, it needs a ton of work. It needs a lot more work than I thought. And then I looked at the logistics and other things about it, and I'm like, nah, it's shut down for a reason. There's not enough people here that would go here, and it won't attract people from out of town. Because by the freeway exits, there's fast food restaurants. There's Jack in the Box, McDonald's, there's a Carl's Jr. By all the freeway exits, and there's gas stations that have snacks. So people traveling on the freeway aren't going to drive into town and go to this place. People traveling on the freeway going somewhere, they see the sign for McDonald's or whatever it may be, or on their phone or their device, and they, hopefully not their phone when they're driving, right? And they say, oh, there's, you know, a place to eat right off the freeway here. So they get off the exit. They want to get off the exit, get into the place quick, grab a, you know, bite of food, maybe sit down to take a break from driving, or just hit the drive-through and get back on the freeway and go to their destination. They're not going to drive into town to come to a burger shop. If they do, the ones that do, it'd be very few and far between. So, because of that, and not enough people here to sustain it, like, nah, not a good idea. It won't work. So that place, yeah, something I thought about, but after looking into it, doing some due diligence, I'm like, no, this is not going to work. So that's a no. Well, it's getting a little hot out here. Anyhow, so yeah, this is Needles. Quiet, peaceful town. For the most part, good, pretty good. I like it. A lot of good things. Like I was saying, you can just see the smoke coming off from the wheels turning on. After I said it's good, yeah, it is good. It's peaceful, and I do like that. But I just don't see it for the long term. And yeah, you know, I like to. I don't necessarily need to live in a big city, but I want to live in, like, at least like near a city that I can go to, you know, when I want, or even if it's a small community, small town, maybe a little bigger than this. But it'd be nice to have a few things to do in town, and then a city nearby if you want to go to, you know, a ball game, or just events that are going on there. That's all cool stuff. I like that. But I do like the slow pace of this, the peacefulness. Man, I sound conflicted. I don't know what am I gonna do? Just kidding. I like both, but I think, you know, I need a little more to do. Well, that's it for now, guys. Till the next one, you guys be safe. As always, do good, be good.